So the actual day of the incident, I left home. I was talking to my mom about taking the dog for a walk later that day. So I told her I'd let her know when I'm done, I'd come back. And throughout the day, my dad asked me if we wanted to go to the gym together. So I said, sure, why not? Let's go. And, you know, as I was progressing through the day, I just didn't really feel like myself. I felt kind of weak and tired. I definitely didn't feel like I'd end up in the hospital that day, but I thought maybe I just was getting COVID or something. So as I was leaving, I went into Shoppers Drug Mart, picked up a COVID test, took the test at home, and it turned out it was negative. So I just kind of shrugged it off, whatever. And I was talking to my dad actually about his estate plan that night. So we were just kind of talking in the kitchen after we ate dinner as we were cleaning up. Just going back and forth about how our days went and whatnot. And he stepped out of the room to go do some laundry, and we were just talking until he heard a loud thud noise in the kitchen, and he came back to find me passed out on the ground having a seizure. So he kind of looked at me and helped me up, got me an ice pack for my head, and we were just talking on the couch about what happened, and he said, you know, why would you joke about that? It's not really funny. And I was like, what do you mean, why? I wasn't joking. What are you talking about? And he was talking to me, and I started clutching my chest out of nowhere. I don't remember any of this either. This is just all what he told me. And as we were talking, he was on the phone, you know, trying to figure out what's going on right now, because this was new to both of us. At this point, I'm completely unaware of what happened. And I just passed out of nowhere for the second time, except this time my eyes were rolled back and I didn't have a pulse, which is then when he called the EMS and they came rushing over and they showed up, did their work on me, did whatever they had to do, and got me out of there with a pulse, I think with a pulse at least.
Yeah, with a pulse.
And then here I am now.
Like, he was literally gone for, I don't even know what the time frame was, but it was 15 minutes. Allowed me to start to process it, and it just didn't make sense. And when the EMS was in the house and they were working on him, they were calm, they were cool, they instilled tremendous confidence in me. Their professionalism was off the charts. And all I kept thinking is, thank goodness they're here. Thank goodness they're here, because I don't know what I'd be doing right now. And they took charge and they brought my son back. And I will forever be grateful for what they did for us that day.
My name is Dawn Hodges. I've been a paramedic with Essex-Windsor EMS for 28 years now. On the evening of February 8th, 2024, my partner and I were dispatched on an emergent call for an unconscious 18-year-old male. On arrival at the scene, we found Jack, our patient, to not only be unconscious, but in cardiac arrest. This healthy and active young man's heart had stopped beating. For Jack to spontaneously collapse and go into cardiac arrest had to have been a terribly traumatic event for the family. And it was very challenging for us, the paramedics responding to the emergency. We do what we can to prepare for these calls en route, but the truth is, we never really know what to expect until we arrive on scene. This was a particularly tough call. Any cardiac arrest can be a challenging emergency, but when it involves a patient that is so young and when it is so unexpected, it makes it that much more distressing for the family and mentally and emotionally challenging for the EMS crew. Jack's family was incredibly courageous and helpful considering the horribly difficult circumstances. Their bravery and composure assisted us greatly. Jack obviously had a lot to live for because he fought extremely hard to survive. After implementing numerous resuscitative measures, we were successful in getting a return of spontaneous circulation. In other words, Jack's heart began to beat again. He was extricated, loaded into the ambulance, and transport to hospital was initiated for definitive care. With continued emergency medical care en route and Jack's fighting spirit, he hung on until we arrived at the hospital. We are honored to have been a part of giving him the opportunity to continue on with his journey. This profession can be very challenging, but rewarding. On this particular day, we were definitely challenged, but it was nothing compared to what the family and the patient had to go through. Being able to give Jack a second chance at life was the ultimate reward. And having the opportunity to meet him and his family today is a true honor. As paramedics, we work hard to do what we can to make a difference in people's lives. And thankfully, on this particular day, the outcome was positive. You are a fighter, Jack. Go out there and live your life to the fullest. We are so glad that we could be a part of your incredible survival story.
First of all, I wouldn't be here without those paramedics. Everything lined up that night, really. It was the day that was going for me. Ideally, this would never happen in the first place, but I just want to say thank you to everyone that was there that night that helped me out. Saved my life.